The story of the Ten Commandments begins with the Exodus. The Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. They cried out for freedom. God heard their prayers. He chose Moses to lead them out of Egypt. Moses led the Israelites through the desert. They were heading for the Promised Land. This was a land of freedom and abundance. The journey was long and difficult. The Israelites faced many challenges. God made a covenant with the Israelites. This was a sacred agreement. God promised to protect and guide them. In return, they had to obey His laws. After 3 months of wandering, the Israelites arrived at Mount Sinai. This was a sacred mountain. God instructed Moses to climb the mountain. He wanted to speak to Moses directly. Moses ascended Mount Sinai. The mountain was shrouded in smoke and fire. God spoke to Moses from the midst of the fire. He gave Moses the Ten Commandments. These were inscribed on 2 stone tablets. The Ten Commandments were a gift from God. They were a set of rules and guidelines. They were meant to help the Israelites live good and righteous lives. The Ten Commandments are divided into 2 groups. The first 4 commandments deal with our relationship with God. The remaining 6 commandments deal with our relationships with each other. The first commandment tells us to worship only one God. The second commandment forbids the creation of idols. The third commandment tells us not to misuse God's name. The fourth commandment tells us to keep the Sabbath holy. The fifth commandment tells us to honor our parents. The sixth commandment forbids murder. The seventh commandment forbids adultery. The eighth commandment forbids stealing. The ninth commandment forbids lying. The 10th commandment forbids coveting. The 10 Commandments are still relevant today. They provide a framework for ethical and moral behavior. They teach us how to live in harmony with God and with each other. The world today is very different from the time of Moses. However, the basic principles of the 10 Commandments remain timeless. They are universal values that transcend time and culture. The 10 Commandments teach us about respect, responsibility, and compassion. They remind us of the importance of honesty, integrity, and justice. By following these commandments, we can create a better world for ourselves and for future generations.